I think it's time you finally pay me mine, yeah, gotta open up and see. You had some love, they never lit the fire, no, they never burned quite like me. I ain't got time to waste on you today, so tell me now, what's it gonna be? You had some love, but never had somebody that do it quite like me. I got that fire.
Hey, what's going on? It's Paul Allen, joined by Zach Halverson, and social distancing along with masks and gloves completely in play for the make-believe, shut-down, social distancing Stanley Cup playoffs. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen, here's what happened in this make-believe world. The Minnesota Wild won 10 consecutive games, and they made the shut-down Stanley Cup playoffs. Through 6 games, it's 3-3 with the Blues, and here is Game 7 of the Western Conference quarters from St. Louis. Zachary, what do you expect?
It's been an unbelievable finish to this season and an unbelievable start to the playoffs for the Minnesota Wild. They've led themselves to a Game 7. What an incredible atmosphere here it is at Enterprise Center, Paul. And what more can you ask for here for Wild fans to finally see them not only back in the playoffs, but a win away from the second round?
Jordan Bennington in goal for the Blues. Devin Dubnyk gets the call for the Wild. Stalock's had a very, very good series. 3 seconds. Any surprise it's Dubnyk tonight?
Devin Dubnyk playing very, very well. He's the leader for this squad here in the postseason.
Here we go, and boom! Playoff hockey Game 7 is in the air from St. Louis. Wild and Blues tied at 3 games apiece, and you can see the crowd is frenzied for this make-believe shutdown Stanley Cup playoff. Game 7 as the Wild penetrate the zone of the St. Louis Blues. Just underway from St. Louis. There's a shot early. Zach Parise, the classy veteran for the Wild. He wanted to put the team up 1-0 early.
He's very impatient at this point in his career. He wants to get to a Stanley Cup final and win that trophy. He's got a great start here in this big Game 7 in St. Louis.
Parise, Stahl, Zuccarello. There's another shot and a great rebound opportunity there by Eric Stahl. And St. Louis, the Stanley Cup champions, break out. There's a shot on Dubnyk. It's defended. Suter retrieves it. And the Wild come back quickly across the red line. Game 7, make-believe Western Conference quarters, and the Minnesota Wild have taken a 1-0 lead on a beautiful, beautiful goal by Matt Zuccarello. Yes, it was. Matt Zuccarello.
The leaders are standing up here and making a case for this Minnesota Wild squad. You got Parise and Suter making the plays, the 2 A's on this squad, setting up Zuccarello for a huge goal for the Wild. First blood so important on the road, especially in a game 7 such as this.
And Bennington is Stanley Cup final immortality off last year. For him to give up one like that, 17 and change to go in the first period, that is great, Zachary. And the Wild have taken a 1-0 lead in this make-believe shutdown Stanley Cup playoff series. Here's an attempted shot on Devin Dubnyk, still trying to figure out exactly why Stalock didn't get the call. And the Wild head into the St. Louis zone. Look at that, Zach! It's another goal! And the Minnesota Wild have come out of the gate quickly. That is Galchenyuk. Welcome to the team, my man. Zachary doubted the trade. Nobody's doubting it now after that.
What a finish there, and what a start to this one for the Wild. So crucial. They've come out firing in this Game 7. Galchenyuk winding up, firing a slapper past Bennington, who has to be questioning a lot of things right now. Very shaky start for the star goaltender.
Fiala, Galchenyuk, and Cunnin still on the ice for the Wild. Wild fans, how about that future? Put that Russian kid in there and let's pop some tags. 2-0 Wild trying to make it 3-0. There was an excellent shot right there by Galchenyuk looking for a deuce. Puck battle goes the way of the champions, and here they come into the Wild zone. 2-zip Minnesota. Oh, what a great move down there on Dubnyk. That is Braden Shen, who tried to cut the lead in half, but Double D, oh yeah, said no. And now the Wild are trying to get up 3-0 first period, make-believe, shut down Stanley Cup playoffs, and whipping on a shot was Jordan Greenway. He's operating without a stick. That's no good, Zach. He needs a stick.
Such a hard shot there, the big rig. making the slapper from the blue line, but breaking his stick in the process, and that allowed the Blues to come back the other way. But Devin Dubnyk shutting the door. He'll have to be huge the rest of the way for Minnesota.
Jaden Schwartz, a Wilcox, Canada native, tried to cut that lead in half, had an excellent opportunity, but Dubnyk is really on his game in this Game 7 of the make-believe, shut-down, socially distanced Stanley Cup playoffs, where the Wild have a couple of goals thanks to Zuccarello. There's another shot. Ooh, and also Galchenyuk. Here come the champions nearing the midway point of the first period. There's another big shot and a near rebound. That was Schwartz with the shot. Schenn thought he had a rebound, but the Wild are able to break out. And they're in the St. Louis Blues zone. Brad Hunt tried to get something going, but the Blues said no. They crossed center ice with a 3-on-2. Oh, there's a centering pass to Schwartz, and he kind of whiffed on a backhand.
Yeah, didn't get what he wanted on it there. That the Blues needing to get a response. That's not how they're going to do it there. They need to get those shots off.
The Wild, an 8 seed, playing the Stanley Cup champions, jumping up 2-0 as a massive underdog in this Game 7 of the shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs, and it's the Western Conference quarters. Here comes St. Louis with 9 minutes to go in the first period, and now there's a shot on Dubnyk just to his left. It was a shot by Alexander Steen, a Winnipeg native. Those up at 740, the Fan in Fargo probably love him. Now, down in the corner for the Minnesota Wild is Brad Hunt, and the defenseman has some consternation with a member of the Blues. That is Alex Pietrangelo. Pretty good game so far.
Yeah, very good for Minnesota, trying to continue that pressure here. This top line has been playing so well, and that's what you want to see. Zach Parise, Eric Staal, Zuccarello playing so well. Going to try to set up another one.
And that nearly was a 3-0 opportunity for the Wild, but the puck was tipped. 7 minutes to go in the first period. 2-0 Wild. Here come the Blues. They're peppering Dubnyk, and Devin is able to cover the puck and get a face-off.
I'll tell you what, Braden Schenn has been playing so well for the Blues all night so far here for the first 13 minutes and 5 seconds. He has been all over Dubnyk here, one of the lone good guys for the Blues in this early stages of this period.
Parise, Staal, Zuccarello. Sounds like 3-0 if we can get the puck, but there's another opportunity on Devin Dubnyk, and that time it was Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly, a Clinton, Ontario native, trying to cut that lead in half.
Another shot on goal for O'Reilly, spinning around, firing that one. These face-offs have certainly edged the Blues here, and another big win for the St. Louis Blues.
Pietrangelo, after the Blues win the face-off, fires one up just off the right shoulder of Dubnyk. 2-0 Wild. Here come the Minnesota Wild with Eric Staal. The captain is trying to get down on Bennington and make it a 3-0 game as he weaves about near side. Now the puck goes back out to Ryan Suter. He skates to the center. Dumba attempts to unfurl a bomb, but it was blocked, but the Wild are holding on to it. And Suter looking to get a reset and perhaps a line change. Parise, he passes it to the middle. Great opportunity, Zach. Oh, another great opportunity. The Minnesota Wild have dominated period one.
Bennington kicks out the right pad, denies Suter, and a great chance. Now the Blues, again, O'Reilly, so dangerous.
No, Gunnarsson trying to gun Urson, one in on Dubnyk, but the Minnesota Wild are so very good in this Game 7 of the socially distanced Stanley Cup playoffs, Western Conference quarterfinal. 2.5 minutes to go in the first period. Right now, Zach, just getting out of this thing 2-0, that'd be good.
Absolutely, and you can see how the Wild have sort of let up a little bit here, not getting the shots that they were in the first part of the period, but certainly getting some chances now as I say that.
Brilliant opportunities, as a matter of fact. We're down to a minute to go in the first period. There's a shot on Dubnyk, and it was Braden Schenn attempting to cut the lead in half. You know, Kevin Gord from Fox Sports North once said a 2-goal lead is a treacherous lead in hockey. I hope he's wrong, Zachary.
Absolutely. We've seen it plenty of times. Teams just not able to hold on to it, especially in big moments, and a bigger moment than Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoff series.
Boy, somebody got to get a body on this Braden Schenn. That's like his 4th shot, and they've all been quality. Here's Carl Gunnarsson. Schenn has it back out to Gunnarsson. 7 seconds to go, and that'll do it for the first period. The Minnesota Wild in a make-believe shutdown Stanley Cup playoff scenario. Game 7, it is the 8 seed versus the 1 seed, the Stanley Cup champions. the St. Louis Blues, and thanks to goals by Matt Zuccarello, along with Alex Galchenyuk, and extremely good leadership by Zach Parise, the Wild have taken a 2-0 lead. Welcome back, Zach Halverson, Paul Allen, social distancing in play. Hey, get out of there for the shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs in make-believe fashion. Western Conference quarters, 8-seed Wild, Stanley Cup champ St. Louis, 2-0 Minnesota. Zachary?
Yeah, what a start for Minnesota, but credit St. Louis. They responded as the period went on, got some chances there late. O'Reilly, Shen knocking on the door, but Devin Dubnyk somehow, some way has become a hero for the Wild, at least through the first 20 in this Game 7, and throughout the playoffs, he was the guy.
Zach Parise showing terrific leadership that entire first period.
Yeah, Parise, Ryan Suter, both getting assists on that great Zuccarello goal.
Hello.
And basically helping this team do it to a 2-0 lead, and that really shows the fact that we have veterans on this squad against a St. Louis team that has also been here before, also has veterans on their squad. It's setting up to be a great second and third period, and perhaps more.
Stahl and O'Reilly for the faceoff to begin the second period, and the second period is underway with Ryan Suter heading into the blue zone. The Wild lead 2-0. Great pass, stumble, and a rebound, and a goal by the captain. It is Eric Stahl. Wait a second, it wasn't Mikko Koivu, the captain. It was the centerman, Eric Stahl. We lead 3-0.
What a start again to another great start to a period. There, the shot, a rebound,
wow.
So juicy. And I mentioned in the first period, Paul, the fact that Binnington gave up 2 quick goals and was just looking shaky, that's another goal that, again, you can't totally pin on him, but you'd like to have a little bit better rebound control. Stahl able to put it away, and the Blues are in very deep trouble.
If they want to get snarky on NHL Network this evening, they might call him Sivington. I know he's hockey immortality. That's with all due respect. You better watch out, Sivington. Almost made that 4-0. I know you got a ring. Please don't add any of us. 3-0 Wild. It's all in jest. Welcome back to St. Louis. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen in make-believe fashion. Game 7, shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs. Word just got in that the Pittsburgh Penguins have been defeated in round 1 in the make-believe Eastern Conference shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs, and it's 3-0 here in St. Louis early in the second period. Zach Halverson's play-by-play skills are elite. Take it away, big boy.
Thank you very much, PA. Face-off in the Minnesota Wild zone to the left of Devin Dubnyk. It's won by the Blues. Petrangela's pass intercepted by Cunnin, and Cunnin makes his way through neutral ice and into the zone. Looking for options here. Cunnin curls to the outside, looks in front. Chance Spurgeon with a shot, and a save for Binnington as the puck goes harmlessly to the corner.
Little guy almost came up big.
Gunnarsson to O'Reilly. O'Reilly into the zone, cuts to his left, tries to get the Blues on the board. Dubnyk shuts the door.
All pregame, you and Kevin Fallness were lamenting the fact that Alex Stalock was not playing this evening, and I love Alexander, but how about Devin Dubnyk tonight?
So far, so good. A lot of time left, but you like the signs here early in St. Louis. Trying to change that are the Blues. There's Braden Shen. He'll center one, but it's stolen away by Galchenyuk. He goes off the wall for Fiala, and Fiala carries it into the zone. Left wing sign says a cross. Slapping at it was Cunnin. Couldn't get the shot off, however.
Come on.
Schwartz comes back the other way for the Blues. In the left circle.
Come on.
A shot, another pad save for Devin Dubnyk.
Hey, get out of there.
So far, so perfect. Schwartz.
Hey, get out of there, man. Stop peppering our goalie. O'Reilly, oh no, look at that rebound. It was like Patty Kane back in the day at the X when the Blackhawks bounced us.
Lively back walls here in the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, as Shen will pick up the puck, goes to Schwartz, winds, fires a shot, and then sticking it away is Devin Dubnyk. To the far corner it goes, picked up by Kevin Fiala. He'll go to his right for Spurgeon, and the defenseman will cut across here in the zone.
Look here!
Spurgeon with a shot, and a glove save for Binnington, who stops play with 12 and a quarter to go in the second.
Duncan Keith, whomever, when you think about great two-way defensemen in the NHL, you better put the little guy, Spurgeon, in that conversation.
12 saves for Bennington out of 15 Minnesota shots. They'll try to add a 16th here as Hunt goes forward to Greenway.
Hunt.
Greenway across to Hartman. Hartman back out high. Now to Carson Soucy. Soucy had it poked off his stick, but Hartman's able to get it right back for the Wild. Back out to Hunt. Now to Hartman into the corner. Hartman fights off a check, goes off a weak angle shot, gets it right back, goes out in front to Greenway, who fires a shot. Rebound, score!
Yes!
Ryan Hartman and the Wild have a commanding 4-0 lead in Game 7.
Big play there by Jordan Greenway. You might want to reanalyze your favorite 18 in the history of this team. I told you it might be Ryan Carter, but you said no. You said it's Ryan Carter. It might be Jordan Greenway for his tenacity right there, setting up a goal that led to a 4-0 lead, Zachary.
What a game this has been for Minnesota. The Blues fans here are absolutely stunned at this unbelievable effort by Minnesota. The Blues have a lot of work to do. They'll try to get after it. Here they get it. Braden Shen off the post and in.
What the hell?
And the Blues are on the board.
Come on, man. When you got a 4-0 lead, you can't sleep. Don't make Evison start thinking Stalock, Kakinen, Dryden, Hasek, Lundqvist. Devin Dubnyk is our guy. Double D bouncing into action beautifully tonight. We're just going to forgive and forget, and we're going to move on, Zachary, because we're in great shape here in game number 7.
Yeah, the Wild trying to hang on to this one. They have had a great first half, but the second half of this regulation, at least, is not going their way. Gunnarsson off the draw for St. Louis. It's moved across here and carried into the zone by Schwartz. Schwartz centers one and another try for the Blues, but Hunt's able to fend it off and force it to the corner. Stahl coming out with it for Minnesota. Moves it forward to Parisi.
Come on.
Parisi skates it in and is driven into the wall hard.
Get in there.
Zuccarello in front for
Yes.
Parisi.
B5.
Try.
B5.
Another try.
Come on.
And a glove save for Bennington.
Oh, man.
As he denies Parisi a chance in the doorstep.
If we get goal number 5, Zach had 5 on it. And if we got our 5th goal right there, I would copyright Wayne Larrivee, the great Packers play-by-play guy, and say, and there is your dagger!
Koivu off the draw, getting another chance, and then Bennington making another save. And into the zone now comes Shen. Shen cuts from left to right, centers one out in front, but it's stolen away by Minnesota. Out through the neutralized, cutting to his right into the zone comes Foligno in front for Dumba, but his shot is poked off his stick before he can pull the trigger, and then the Blues will ice it down.
Hey, man, I want to see Marcus Foligno, one of the leaders in hits during the NHL make-believe regular season. I want to see him blast somebody right now and set this tone, because the Minnesota Wild are losing faceoffs but winning the game, and that's what matters most. Is Ryan Suter, he flips one up on Bennington, and it stopped, and Mikko Koivu, the captain, actually playing in potentially the final game of his career. In real life and make-believe fashion, nearly mixed it up with somebody, and there's the face-off from the dot to the right of Bennington. Here's the captain, the veteran, out to Dumba. Big shot off the blocker of Bennington, floats out to the right, centering pass, and that nearly was an opportunity and for Ryan Donato, but the Wild continuing to keep the puck in Blues territory. However, Gunnarsson is able to speed out, and the Blues, led by Shen, he comes walking in on defenseman, kicks it back out to the point, and there's a shot, and there's another shot, and Dubnyk covers it. This is happening so fast. It's not make-believe, it's real life, and we need every piece of positivity, Zachary, we can get right now in this moment.
Well, you talked about the hunger for guys like Parisi and Suter coming into this game, trying to get their spot in a Stanley Cup final. Devin Dubnyk and Mikko Koivu among these list of veterans that have been so hungry for playoff success.
Take us home to the end of the second, ZH.
Jordan Greenway, the big rig they call him, gives it to Brodin, who tried to center. O'Reilly intercepts the pass and carries it out, crosses the red line and dumps it in deep. goes into the corner, goes from corner to corner now in the Minnesota Wild zone. Battle continues behind. O'Reilly wins that battle, goes off the wall of the blue line to Gunnarsson, and moves it across for Shen. Shen back out high to Gunnarsson. His shot is blocked, hits some bodies in front, bounces in the corner, and then Schwartz will come around and fire another shot that Dubnyk makes yet another save. Here's Shen, back out high to Gunnarsson. Another late surge here by the Blues in this second period as Gunnarsson finds the pipe as the Wild are able to clear. Great look for St. Louis. Now here come the Wild. Ryan Hartman, right corner. Sends one out in front. Greenway shot blocked. Pietrangelo back the other way. Has a lane in front. Goes to his left for Schwartz. Schwartz moving in. Fires it. And Dubnyk making the save. Schwartz, I think, was looking for a pass and didn't really make up his mind until it was too late.
Now, for those of you joining us, this is the make-believe shut-down Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 7, it is the Minnesota Wild and the Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen. We are deep in period number 2. Finish it off, big boy.
8 seconds to go. Blues trying to get some a late effort here, trying to go to the locker room a little bit happier, but they will not. The Wild are able to clear it out, and that is how the second period we end. We head to the locker rooms with a Minnesota Wild 4, St. Louis Blues 1 score after 2 in Game 7.
All right, we welcome you back to Game 7 of the make-believe, shut-down, socially distanced Stanley Cup playoffs. Zach Halverson and Paul Allen. And, of course, we are respecting protocol. 6 feet between us, gloves in play, Wild scarves acting as masks. And the Wild lead the Stanley Cup champions 4-1, but it's getting a little tenuous, Zach.
Yeah, this is an interesting game here. Going into the third, obviously you want to see the Wild continue the pressure. The way they've started both the first and the second periods has been encouraging. They'll need to do that here coming into the third. Certainly this game far from over, PA, but the Wild certainly have put themselves in a wonderful spot heading into the third on the road in a crucial moment against the defending champs to put themselves into the second round if they can hold on to a lead for just 20 more minutes.
And at the end of the shutdown regular season in make-believe fashion, we saw the Wild win 10 consecutive to get into this spot just to get the 8, so we know the tenacity is there.
Yeah, we know the hunger's there. We know that the talent is there. Of course, the problem with that, PA, is it can come down to bounces, and that's the good thing for the Wild here. With a 3-goal lead, you'd like to think that's enough cushion to where, you know, if they get a lucky bounce or 2, they can survive that. But we've seen crazier things. We could get a third lucky bounce for St. Louis, and that could change things completely heading into the end of regulation. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the Wild can hang out.
All right, so welcome back. Third period, shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs. We want to thank A.J. Mansour, Chris Carpenter, Alexis Pearson, Kevin Fallness, Bob Kurtz, Tom Reed, and everybody assisting us on the vast and ever-expanding Wild Radio Network 4-1 Us. Zach Parisi, the veteran, wants a cup so badly. He tried to put another one in on Bennington, and we're just underway in the final period. Those are the Stanley Cup champs, the Blues. We are the 8th seed, and we're leading by 3, desperately trying to hold on, and how about that? The lead just got cut in half. What the hell is happening here? Jaden Schwartz scored a goal in front of that aggressive mascot and all of these loving Blues fans very early in the period, Zach. Zach, help. What's happening?
The atmosphere here coming out in this third was pretty electrifying for a crowd that saw their favorite team down 3 goals. They were waving the towels, and then Schwartz comes down and just fires a wrister in the top of the circle. It beats Dubnyk, exactly what the call to order for the Blues was, and the Wild are in a little bit of trouble here, but again, still 2-goal push, and we'll see if they can continue to hang on.
Alex Pietrangelo and the St. Louis Blues, led by Jaden Schwartz, with a shot off the chest of Devin Dubnyk, and the puck, as Doc Emmerich would say, goes careening around the boards, and here come the Wild. Matt Zuccarello, he had the first goal of the game. Zuccarello with a shot on Bennington. Puck still behind Bennington, and he covers it.
I'll tell you what, a little bit of physicality there on Zuccarello as he was going around no calls yet, no penalties at all throughout this hockey game.
Weird.
That's one thing that's very important for the Wild. They need to stay out of the penalty box. It looks like the officials are more than happy to help the Blues stay out of their penalty
No
box.
penalties, 2 periods, and a Fiala. Ooh, that might have been one there. No penalties, two periods and change. It's reminiscent of the game that we did, I believe it was in Chicago, where the Blues, in crazy fashion, the Blackhawks played the same guys the entire game, and subsequently the head coach was fired. It is 4-1. Oh, come on! How about that? It was Luke Cunnin trying to make it 5-2 and provide a dagger. It's 4-2 Wild. Make-believe, shut down, socially distanced. Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 7, Western Conference quarters. Halverson, Allen, Wild video game playing radio network. The Blues with a big shot from the point on Devin Dubnyk. That was Carl Gunnarsson. He's been a menacing presence. Wild come out, puck's picked off. Eriksson Ek, who's had a nondescript game. He tried to execute a pass, but now the puck is dumped deep into the Wild zone. Huge check right there. And the Blues trailing 4-2 with 12 minutes to go. These Stanley Cup champions, you just can't easily put them away.
No, you cannot. The Wild doing their darndest, but the Blues starting to remind everybody why they were the best team in the league last year, why they're one of the top teams in the league this year.
Jonas Brodin with a centering pass. I think I heard a pipe as Greenway does a weird dance in front of Bennington. And that dance right there, Jordan is a Fortnite-loving animated kid. Where the hell did that dance come from?
Obviously trying to stay loose here. You want that. You don't want to be playing too tight on your stick in a Game 7 third period.
Hey, it almost behooves us. We're in a no-lose situation. If the Wild win, we advance to the next round on the Wild video game and radio network. But if they win, that'd be cool, but we won't be able to hug because of social distancing. So, if they lose, then that would suck, but at least we kept everything responsible with the gloves and the scarves and social distancing.
Absolutely. Following the rules here, and that's what's important. But this is really fun. I hope to see the Wild hang on to this. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the third.
Take it away, big boy.
The St. Louis Blues have the puck. They try to move it over. Petrangelo to Schwartz.
Don't be bad luck, Zach.
Blocked to the corner. Grabbed here by Shen, who's pinned up against the wall. Koivu steals it away.
Yes.
Goes dangerously in front of his goal.
Come on.
Able to connect to Susi. Susi goes backwards to Hunt.
Here we go.
Goes to his left for Donato. Donato moving in, curls to the outside, looks to center it, but it's stolen away by Alex Petrangelo. Here's Braden Shen now for the Blues. Cuts to his left, goes to his left. Here's Gunnarsson.
Stop him!
Backhand, cuts back to his forehand.
What the hell?
Shot, but that's blocked there. The Wild crowding that slot area, PA, so well. Hunt able to get it free.
Paul Allen filling in as the analyst for Tom Reed. Don't forget, takeout and pickup probably available at Tom Reed's on West 7th.
Absolutely. Here's Donato with a chance for the Wild. And a save for Bennington. Such a crucial save to keep his squad in it late in the third.
It's 4-2 Wild. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen. And the winner advances to the make-believe shutdown Western Conference semis, where the Wild trying to win the first shutdown Stanley Cup in the history of shutdowns, pandemic purges, and everything transpiring in the surreal world. Meanwhile, the Stanley Cup champions know, look at this, they're not just going to go away. Ryan O'Reilly's been a pain in the butt the entire game. Somebody's got to put it, what? You choose to call the first penalty of the game right now?
What an interesting moment here. We go nearly 56 minutes without a penalty. And Parisi, unfortunately, the tape not too friendly to Mr. Parisi. A huge power play for the Blues and an even bigger penalty kill for the Wild.
Let me guess, that guy was also on the field for the 09 NFC title game. Whatever. Oh, great. Are you kidding me? How in the hell are you going to call that penalty? First penalty of the game. The Blues just got a goal. They're one from the equalizer. I told you Ryan O'Reilly has been bugging all game. Perron and Shen on the assist. Got my main man right there in the blue sweatshirt in front. What's happening?
I'm surprised to see O'Reilly back on that score sheet. And now there's some hope in this building. You feel it simmer just a bit as the fans realize now how close they are to tying this one up with still, not plenty of time, but certainly enough time for this very dangerous Blue squad. O'Reilly getting a beautiful tip there on that shot from Shen at the point. My goodness, what a goal and what an effort in this third period by the St. Louis Blues.
Dean Evison, so perplexed by that Parisi penalty, had to be restrained by Darby Hendrickson. He's still on the bench, but his face is red. He's apoplectic because his Minnesota Wild are trying to pull a major upset and win Game 7 of the shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs, round 1 at St. Louis. And it's 4-3 Wild. Well, we have another penalty. Okay, this time it's on the Blues, so it's evened out. Let me guess, that referee also probably was on the sideline at Superdome when Nikel Roby-Coleman messed with the just whatever he did, who cares, but it cost the Saints.
Yeah, a huge power play now for the Wild. Even if they don't score, at least they get 2 of the last 3 minutes to have the man advantage and kill that time off as best they can.
Give us your best for a minute.
3 minutes to go in the third. Minute and a half to go in the power play for the Wild. They get a shot off. It's turned away by Binnington.
We got this.
Corner, and the Blues work it out. Here's Steen. Steen works it across the red line, dumps it in deep. It trickles behind the Minnesota Wild goal. Spurgeon goes out the back wall near side to Dumba.
Trickles.
Dumba moving in through neutral ice, cuts across here, fires a shot, and Binnington makes the save with 45 seconds to go on the power play and 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in Game 7, PA.
All right, quick reset in the social distancing Stanley Cup playoffs. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen, what a spine tingler this is. Let's get back to the action. We are deep in the game with 1:50 and change to go. Wild lead 4-3. Zach, I think we got this. Is that fair to say?
No, it is not, PA.
What?
The Blues certainly are going to give them hell in this final minute and a half. The power play expiring here for the Wild, going very quickly. And now St. Louis, with a minute to go, will do everything they can to get this thing knotted up.
Expect St. Louis to pull Bennington relatively soon. We are under a minute. The Wild lead 4-3. It is the socially distanced Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 7, Western Conference quarters. We are massive underdogs in this game, Zach. We have a big opportunity to win. We are leading 4-3. There's Fiala, and he's just playing a game of keep away right now, but here come the champions. And the goalie indeed has been pulled. Oh, yeah. And the Blues trying to tie this thing up with an empty netter. 25 seconds to go. 25 seconds to go. Zach wants to say, do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do. But it's only round 1. There's a shot on Devin Dubnyk, and he covers the puck. Oh my God, I'm sweating right now. What is happening to our lives, Zachary?
Have to imagine we'll see a timeout here from St. Louis. 16.2 seconds remaining. It's a very interesting time in this one, to say the least. The Wild so close, yet the Blues are also close to making this one a tie game.
Here it is. Shot on Dubnyk. It's low. He covers it again. Again, the Blues are operating with an extra attacker. 11 seconds to go. The winner advances to the shutdown Stanley Cup playoffs, round 2. It's the Western Conference semis. Here is a massive face-off to be taken by Eric Stahl. Yes, we won it.
Get it out.
And Suter skates behind, and that's going to do it. Look at this, Zach.
Unbelievable finish. What a game, and what a win for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Wild have defeated the St. Louis Blues in the shutdown, socially distanced Western Conference quarters, and have done so as a massive underdog in Game 7 at St. Louis. Zach, your final thoughts on eating the scarf?
Oh my goodness, just unbelievable job. It all started with a phenomenal start in the first and second periods. That's what carried them through. Obviously, might have liked to see them handle a little bit more.
Metaphorical make-believe high five.
There we go.
In fact, forget these masks. Turn around.
Let's go this way.
I'm eating mine. Continue.
But you like to see the Wild perform. You like to see these veterans come out there. Zuccarello did a phenomenal job. Of course, Zach Parise and Ryan Suter and Devin Dubnyk has set the stage for what should be a very, very entertaining round 2 after being able to defeat a very good team in a 7-game series tonight in St. Louis.
And the next time the Minnesota Wild in make-believe fashion are involved in any form of a shutdown, socially distanced elimination type game. Zach Halverson, Paul Allen, we will be here for you. We want to thank AJ Mansour, Chris Carpenter, Kevin Fallness, Tom Reed, Aaron Sickman, Bob Kurtz, and everybody with the Minnesota Wild family. Metaphorical fist bump right here. The Minnesota Wild in Game 7 upset the champions, and they're moving on to the semis. Zach, Paul, bye.